Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. I've managed to update my game to the latest version. I mentioned before that I was having trouble with some of the mods not being compatible, and I've been waiting for mod updates and haven't been seeing any, and it turns out that the mods have been updated, but for some reason the in-game mod update utility hasn't been finding all of them, which I can't quite explain. So I had to manually download some of the updates, and then like for FNEI, Alien Biomes had an update that wasn't showing up. I think there were one or two others, but once I got all the mods updated to the latest versions, the game works now with, I think it's 0.18, 0.28 that I'm on now. So the main difference you're going to see is a lot of the icons have changed. We've got we have high-res icons for everything now. So for example, these are the flying robot frames, which look considerably different than they did before. Electric engines, the batteries, right? A lot of these look rather foreign to me. Engine units. So that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Accumulators. Why? Where am I using accumulators? Where are you going, fella? Oh, for the satellite, right. Forgot about that. Okay. Yeah. So we've had 5 launches so far. It was requested of me that we put a digital counter for how many rockets we've launched. So I'm going to do that. I installed a mod called Nanotubes, or Nixie Tubes, sorry, which allows you to make these little digital counters. So I'm going to I'll make 4 numbered ones. Actually, let's move those up one tile so we can see it better. There we go. And usually what I do to count is to count the number of times that we pick up a satellite on that inserter. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we need to set up a memory cell first. And let me try to remember how to do that, because we need to keep track. So I think if I take input each times 1, output each, and then if I loop it back, it should hold a value. Right, so we launched sides 5 so far, so let's make a constant combinator, because we have to get this set to its starting value. And I'll set this to satellite 5. Now if I feed that in, yeah, it's not going to add to it, is it? Let me see. I might not have this memory cell set up right. Let's see what happens. Input signal 5. It's not showing me an output signal. All right, and then we'll set the tube to watch for satellites. And then if I take this away, it goes back to 0. Okay, so that's not working. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I've got it now. We need a decider combinator. say that as long as satellite is greater than 0, output satellite with the input count. Okay, now if we turn it on, it's going to continue to, yeah, it counts and counts and counts. So I need to figure out how to give it a pulse of 5 to get it set to the right value. Okay, and then we're going to tell this to read hand contents, pulse. Okay, so when it picks up a satellite, it'll send a single pulse. That'll set it to 5. I need to reset this thing. Okay, let's see. Satellite greater than 0. Output satellite with the input count. We feed the input or the output back to the input. I need more wires. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this satellite and I'll just have it I'll just have it pick itself up 5 times. All right, read contents, pulse. Okay, so I'll take the satellite, I'll drop it, and it's not picking it up. And it didn't work. Okay, this one's not going to go yet because we don't have a low enough number of those space science data cards. All right, so let me take this out, put that in there. Oh, it's not hooked up to the Nixie tube, that's why. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 4, and where did it go? 5. All right, and then I'll put that. All right, there you go. We're going to go ahead and launch, and now it's still going to be wrong. God dang it. Okay. Now we're good. And now in subsequent launches, the count should be correct. All right. Thanks for the suggestion. That was fun. That was a little frustrating. I haven't made one of those in a while. That's why it was frustrating. I kind of forgotten how to do it properly. Okay. So, since the last episode, we've finished all the research that takes the lower level science packs, and we are now using these very noisy Singularity Labs with the 3 science packs that we can currently produce for those, which are production, utility, and optimization tech cards. The other tech cards are no longer used. I notice there's a bit of a bug with the sound on these things. I don't know if you can hear it, but when the inserters go, I get like this little staticky clicking noise. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I think it's probably just a bug in the sound file. All right, so what I want to do now is make more power. And initially, I was thinking that we're going to need 60 gigawatts in order to make the intergalactic transceiver work. But I misunderstood what the tooltip is telling me, and someone left a comment explaining it better. The maximum input it can take is 60 gigawatts. The energy capacity is 120 terajoules. So in order to make this thing, in order to win the game, you have to charge this device with 120 terajoules of energy. You don't have to deliver it with 60 gigawatts as long as it gets up to 120 terajoules. Now 120 terajoules is like 120,000 gigajoules, right? So if we divide that by 60, so the fastest you can charge this thing is 2,000 seconds if you have 60 gigawatts, which is 33 minutes. So if you have less than 60, you can still charge it. It'll just take longer. So we don't necessarily have to go to 60 gigawatts, although we may decide to do that at the end to speed things up. And then I think I also mentioned that I want to, rather than going up to 60 gigawatts using the fusion reactors, which we are currently employing, I think I would rather give myself some extra power now and then move towards antimatter reactors and use that for the end game power, because antimatter reactors can make 3 gigawatts of power. It doesn't appear that they need any turbines, and the fuel cells only require matter. And when we get to the matter research, you're going to see that we can convert coal, copper, iron, minerals, oil, rare metals, stone, uranium, and heavy water. All those things can be converted into matter. So I think once we get to the end, we've researched all the tech, we've built the base, we've got some antimatter reactors, we can start to convert a lot of the base over to producing matter to power. It looks like we lost we lost a turret over in iron. We can start to convert parts of the base over to producing matter rather than whatever else they were making, since we won't need a lot of raw materials anymore, and we can expand our power to charge the transceiver faster. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Apparently teleporters was another mod that needed to be updated. So I updated that one manually, and I checked again the automatic updater, and there were a lot of mods waiting to be updated. So I'm not sure exactly what is the problem, but hopefully we'll get that sorted out soon. Let's destroy some of this stuff. I think I'm going to build an artillery train and start sending it around to automatically take out some of this biter expansion, because I'm getting a little weary of doing this manually. So what I can do is I can build an artillery train set up some rail that goes all around the perimeter of the base, and just have the artillery train drive around and stop every once in a while to blast whatever is close by. Okay, that should help keep things clear for a little while. Great. Okay, so let's go back to them all. All right, so lots more power. So what we're going to do is I'm going to scale up to 4 gigawatts. I'm getting a lot of achievements now because when I was going through this update process, it broke my achievements too. So I'm starting over with achievements. Okay, so 4 gigawatts is 2 fusion reactors with 20 turbines each. And this is the factory that we're going to need in order to support all of it. So let's start with the reactors and the turbines. How many do I have here now? That's 12. I think I might have to move over here. I could use both of those squares, perhaps. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'll just grab 2 reactors and 40 turbines, and we'll set up in a second area, and then we'll move everything over. Okay, so 20, that's 50. There we go. That's 40. Let's get rid of this stuff like I did before. And then the reactors themselves. I think these are it. Yeah. 2, and then I won't make any more besides that one. And I should probably turn off the production of those turbines as well. Let's just shut it off. And I'll use an active provider to empty that out. Where are all my bots at? Come on, guys. I have like 1,000 logistics bots. I shouldn't have to wait around. And empty that out. Okay, let's reset that. Let's reset that. Okay. All right, so I'll just pick it all up. So after this, we'll be focused on the antimatter power. All right, so let's go over to the power plant. Power plant, there we go. Maybe I can dismantle all of that too. Okay, so let's see what we can do in terms of fitting 2 reactors array in a single square. All right. So that, let's see if I can get this placed exactly in the center. Okay, so that is 30. The reactor, I think, is what, 9 by 9? If we count from there to there, no, that's 15. Okay, yeah, so 7 on one side and 8 on the other is what will give us a reactor that's in the center. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll come down a few squares right there. All right, so let's pick those up. And then I'll copy that and place the other one there. That way we make sure we got the same distance. Okay, and then we'll make 2 huge storage tanks. We're going to put one there and one there. Okay. Some pumps. And maybe we could do... Let's see. I guess it doesn't matter which way it goes in. Why don't we do this? Okay, that's the middle. We could do 5 rows of 4. We just have to make sure that they stay powered. Okay, yeah, this should work. All right, that's 20, right? Okay, so this won't be as difficult as I was afraid it would be. And then we just feed the steam to each of those. Now these each consume up to 100 per second. 100 per second times 4 is, or I'm sorry, 100 per second times 20 is 2,000 per second. Can a single underground pipe handle that? I think it can. The pump can handle 12,000 a second. Let's work on artillery range. Now the steel pipe has more throughput. So maybe we should do, we could make it out of steel just to be on the safe side. And we can make steel pumps as well. Okay. I'm going to pick this up. I'm just going to rearrange this a little bit. There we go. That way we power up the pump. Okay, and then we can copy this whole thing, paste it down there. And I need a few more steel undergrounds. Okay. Now, water. How am I getting water up here? Okay, directly from there, so we can do the same over here. Let's see how much water this consumes. 1,000 water every 5 seconds. Okay, so I think a single pipe should be enough to feed both of these. 1,000 every 5 seconds is 200 per second. One offshore pump can give you 1,200 per second, so it should be no problem. Okay, and then I think we could just use bots. For the inputs and outputs. No, actually we need one of those and one of those. And we request. Interesting. Okay. Layout's a little bit different, but we're going to be requesting DT fuel cells, and 10 seems like a reasonable number. And then the empty ones will come out. Okay, RoboPorts. Here we go. Okay, we'll put one there, and we'll put one there. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is how do we cap our production of fuel cells? So let's, instead of requester chests, let's make these buffer chests. Because when they're buffer chests, you can count the contents of the chests. So if I want to limit it to only having 20 fuel cells in the system, I can do that, and they'll be counted when they're inside these buffer chests. Whoops. I shot something. Okay. So now we just need to do our production of the fuel cells. I really wish this coal was gone. Or maybe I can move my accumulators somewhere else. Well, we'll do it up here. And then we'll just dismantle that whole thing down there. And then yeah, I should really take this apart, but I do need that biomethanol for something or other. I don't recall where I'm using it. Oh, I think I'm only using it to make fuel. Yeah, I think I'm only using it to make the biofuel for the trains. If that's the case, yeah, I could just switch over to regular fuel. That's not really a big problem. I think I'll do that. All right. So let's put power plant down here. Oops. We'll pick up that one. Actually, we'll pick up all of this. Oh, except I'm making oxygen too. All right, I'll just leave it. Okay, so let's look at what we need for production. So these are the ingredients. Empty cells, heavy water, sulfuric acid, raw rare metals. Oh, okay, let me take that out. Rare metals. Yeah, let's look at the uranium processing. It says I need 5 machines on Clockwork enrichment and 4 machines on uranium processing. Okay, now the Clockwork enrichment, I do have speed module 1s, so 3.4. So I already have enough uranium production. And then for the uranium processing, I only need 4 machines. So I've got, this part is good. Okay, we're already making enough uranium. Am I using uranium-235 anywhere else? I don't believe I am. I'm not making atomic bombs or any of that other stuff. Okay. Yeah, so we're safe with this. Okay, so I'm going to take this out of here as well. Okay, so these are the ingredients I need to bring in. The empty cells, which I probably have enough of, but we could probably even handcraft some more. No, I can't. I need low density structures. Let's go grab some low density structures, and then I'll just handcraft a bunch more so that we have plenty of them in the system. All right, let's go down to blue circuits, and we'll come over to low density structures, and I'll grab a stack. And yeah, okay, so I'll just craft 50. So if we have 50 of them floating around in the system, we should never run out. All right, and I'll put, yeah, we'll figure that out in a moment. Okay. So let's start at the beginning. I need 2 atmospheric condensers making, or 2.1. So I need 3 condensers making hydrogen. Let's go back to the mall and pick up everything that we need. I don't think I have any of those condensers on me. Okay, I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that. All right. Which ones are the condensers? All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I need, what, 3, 4, 5 chemical plants. I have those. I need 12 electrolysis plants. I think that's these guys. Yep. 10, 14. Okay, that's enough. And then I need 3 centrifuges. I don't think I'm making centrifuges. There's 1. 2, 3. Okay. We should be all set then. All right. So let's set up our inputs. We need heavy water, water, mineral water, rare metals, and uranium. Okay, so water, heavy water. Actually, I'm not making heavy water, am I? Heavy water. I have to make heavy water. And that's just made from water. Yeah, this, I'm making the heavy water over here. Okay, so I need 24 more electrolysis plants to make the heavy water. Oh, I know what I can do. I'll just paste them down. Okay. And... oh, okay. And then I just need rare metals and uranium-235. Okay, rare metals, U-235. All right, so I'm going to put 1 there. I'll put 1 there. I'll put 10 there because we're going to use a lot of water. And... oh, and then this should be mineral water, not heavy water. And I'll put 5 there, let's say. Whoops. Okay, and then we don't need that one. Okay, so let's start with the heavy water. I need 24 electrolysis plants. So what I'll do is I will just put them down like so. 1 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Okay, and those are all going to be making heavy water. And then the bots will just start bringing them over from the mall. Okay, and I should really have a pump there since it's going to require a lot, I think. 6,000 per minute divided by 60 seconds, 100 a second. for power. I think if we put, yeah, we can power these with substations. Oops. Let's just get total coverage here. There. And let's make a large storage tank. Put that right there. And then we can pump the output from there. Do these need power? Oh, okay. Those have delivered already. That's strange that the trucks didn't leave until I gave it power. Oh, maybe it was because of that pump. I don't know. That's not what I was expecting. Oh, it's because there was already water in there, perhaps. No, there wasn't. Yeah, there was. Okay, all the water's gone. Got sucked up already. Whew. Okay, so we got that part done. Now I need 3 condensers, making hydrogen. And actually I said that I wanted to make extra lithium. So let's force the lithium to 16 machines, let's say. Hard limit. Okay. And that way we get the right ratios of these other ingredients. So that'll give me 48 lithium per second additional. This is what, 12 and 12, right? All right, well, let's do the condensers first. So I need 3 condensers making hydrogen. And I want to make more tanks. Let me go grab some steel plate. Throw in some lights. Okay. Okay, so we got that done. And then I need 1 chemical plant making hydrogen chloride. I'm probably going to be disappointed about where the hydrogen goes in. Oh, wow. It's my lucky day. And I'm going to need some tanks of chlorine gas to prime the system. So let me make some empty barrels. And where do I have chlorine? I know I have chlorine down here, right? Iron processing. Okay, fill chlorine barrel. There's 10 barrels. Hopefully that'll be enough. Great. Okay. So we can actually, we can feed that the chlorine right now. Okay, and I'll leave that there for the time being since it's got chlorine in it. Okay, and then that is going to feed into 4 chemical plants making lithium chloride. And these have to be spaced out. Okay. So let's... Okay, lithium chloride. So we'll do the mineral water. Oops. And the hydrogen chloride. All right, and that is a solid that needs to come out with belts, and then I need 16 electrolysis plants to make the lithium. So let's do 8 and 8. One, two, three. How are we doing on Roboport coverage? That's good. Okay, lithium. Okay. I think this can work. How fast does this come out? 5 every 25 seconds. Okay. So that's yellow inserter. And okay. All right, more power. to link the chlorine output down here. And we send that back up here. Okay, we can pick that up now. All right, how fast does this come out? 5 every 5. Okay, and then we're going to have to wait for the chlorine to get pumped back in. Which should happen momentarily, and then that'll give us more lithium, which will give us, or more lithium chloride, which will give us more lithium. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this down to an inserter. Set the output priority there, and my supply of lithium to go to the mall will be not the priority. I'll cut that belt for now. Okay, so the hard part's done. Now I need 3 centrifuges making the tritium. I wish I would have left myself more room up there, but we can manage. Let's move this over by 1. Okay, so these take the lithium, uranium, and rare metals. And these are, well, 30 lithium every 30 seconds. That's 1 a second. Okay, so yellow belt's fine, and then we can share a belt with these other 2. There. I wonder if I need to prime this with more chlorine. It would probably help if I had more chlorine in there, huh? Let's Let's go back up to, what was it, iron processing. I do have chlorine gas on the network, or do I? No, looks like I'm using it all. Alright, well, I'll just make more barrels. And we'll barrel up some more of this stuff. I'll just put some more in the pipes, which will hopefully have enough to keep the pipes relatively full and just keep it running nonstop. I mean, we are producing as much chlorine as we're taking in, but we want to make sure it's enough to keep the loop full. This looks better. I've got 16 of those. Yeah, and I need, well, yeah, it's exactly 16. So I should be getting enough lithium chloride to feed these two machines down here. All right, this one's finally going to start to get some. Okay, that should be good. And then when we have the tritium, that's when we get the heavy water and the empty fuel cells. Okay, so I'm going to have 2 chem plants. Okay, so 3 into 2. So this one in the middle will feed both of them, and this one, the ones on the end, will only feed the ones in the center. And then we just need the empty fuel cells. We can do those with requesters. And then the full ones will go into provider chests. And we're going to limit those to 10. 10 total in the system. These are set to ask for 10 each, so let's make it 20. So these will produce as long as there are 20 or less than 20 in the system. Okay, and these are going to request the empty fuel cells. Whoops, I copied the wrong one. Empty fuel cell, 10 is fine. Okay. And I can then dump those. Some will get delivered there. And there's our first batch of steam. 4 gigawatts of power. 5.7 including this one. But now that this is running, I'm going to shut this one down. Okay, so I'm going to turn that off. We'll turn all that off. Let's dump those empty fuel cells. Actually, are there any more empties? Yeah, there's one more empty one. I'll take that out. I'll just reset the recipe. And then this fuel cell, I can also dump. And we'll let this run until the steam runs out. Okay, and then I need to get rid of this uranium before it kills me. There we go. And I will empty this out. Into there. Take that drone away. Take that one away. Take that one away. And we'll pick up the reactor. Okay, that'll empty that out, and then that mineral water is just going to be lost. Not a big deal. Okay, let's pick all this up. And we still have some steam there, so I might as well leave it there. Screw it, let's pick it up. That way we can be done with it. Okay. Okay, and now it looks like we're making as much lithium as we want. I'll limit this to, to 1 row. I still have another chlorine barrel, so let's empty that out so it doesn't go to waste. There. And then I'll get rid of these empty barrels. Those can be used in the mall. Okay, and it looks like we've already got a full We've already got our request filled for the fuel cells. And again, because these won't produce until more steam is needed, which is great. So we've got full steam tanks. And until those are somewhat depleted, it won't use any more fuel. So that's one great thing about this compared to the nuclear power. You can scale up your capacity quite a bit without increasing the amount of fuel that you use. The fuel will only get consumed when you need the actual power. Okay, we're slowly accumulating a little bit of hydrogen, but there's not much, which shows that, yeah, we needed 2.8, we have 3, so we'll generate a little bit of extra hydrogen, but not a whole lot. Same with the heavy water. Well, heavy water says we need exactly 24 machines, so that worked out good. Okay, so let's label this cell here. That's where we're making our fuel. And over here is where we have our power generation. Where's the reactor? That's not it. Ah, there we go. I used to be able to type. You know what I could do? I could get rid of this, and then I could probably fit all my batteries over there. And that would clear up another square, because I've only got, well, I have 1, 2, I only have 3 available right now. Although I suppose it would be easy to move this wall and landfill, and then I can make some more down there. I'll probably just leave it like that. Okay, well, that's going to do it for today, so we can cross this off the list. Next, I want to start making some modules, productivity and speed modules. I think we should probably start using those to be a little more economical in our use of resources. So we'll work on that next time. And it looks like we now have our next level science card, because we were just waiting for the lithium to do that. Did I give myself enough extra lithium production? Yes, 4 machines. I guessed, and it worked out great. Because remember we needed 12, and I made 16. So I just, by luck, got what we needed. So now we can do stuff like what? Energy control unit. I think these two are what we need. So energy control unit and immersium processing. Those are going to be next. That'll unlock energy storage. What is that? Like a big... Okay, that stores a gigajoule. Looks like a big accumulator, perhaps. We can research advanced tech cards. We can research matter processing, which we know we wanted to do. I also saw, what was the other thing I saw there that looked good? Oh yeah, advanced roboports. Definitely want that. All right, so we're getting into some good stuff now. Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.